Mattie Mondays, where we do music in different ways. I guess friends ain't be dropping gems. Always keep it genuine. Knowledge, power, and some funny. Every week, every Monday. Pure, real, and honest. Tap in, leave a comment. You tune in to Mattie Mondays. What's up, Mattie Mondays members, Mattie Mondays family? We have made it around another 7 days for another episode of Mattie Mondays, where we do music in different ways. And I am very excited for this episode. Tonight, we are talking about our beliefs. Shout out to Chevy for the spark and the idea. Tonight's episode is entitled, What Do You Believe In? And this is going to be just simply, but not necessarily shallow, but just challenging us to go into depth and to walk away with some work to do, just about determining what it is that we believe about life, ourselves, how it's shaping how we view the world, and ways to change it if we don't like what we find and what we see and the results that we are getting. So I see you guys have already beat me into the room. Shout out to the Mattie Mondays family. Tonight we're going no face, no case. We're going to keep it smooth just like that. And before we get into the conversation, we are going to get our bodies moving. We're going to get some energy in motion. But let me shout out the family that is already in the building. We have Twin in the building, Grinder Entertainment Studios, saying good evening, Mattie Mondays family. Thank you for being here, Twin. We got Mama Mattie in the building saying hi, family. Who else we have in the building? We got Chev in the building saying greetings, Mattie Mondays members. Awesome. All right. Where we at? Aunt Tan is in the building saying greetings, Mattie Mondays team. Absolutely. We got C Styles. We got Crystal in the building saying, hey, family. Hello, family. What up, Ashley? We got Ash in the building saying, hey. What's up? Thank you for stopping in. If you have just now tapped in, once again tonight, with the idea, thank you, Chevy, once again, with the spark and the suggestion for the title of the show, what do you believe in? We're going to dive a little deep. Of course, I have come prepared with our slides to guide the conversation, some slides that I will always be open to texting directly to you, and that you guys can also take a screenshot as we talk through this topic for the evening. But before we get moving, before we get too deep, I would like for us to get in motion. So we're going to start tonight with some vibrations. I'm going to update you on some special things that are coming, and then we're going to get into the conversation. So right now, if you're capable, if you're not driving, then I'm going to assume you are capable. Even if you are, you can move your arms and your body from the hip up. Let's move for 2 minutes. Let's go. I'll be right back. Let's get to it. Move. Touch the rhythm, touch the groove. Move. Touch the rhythm, touch the groove. No concerns about nothing. Tonight we just loving. Yeah, tonight we just living. Yeah, tonight we getting lifted. Right. Tomorrow, and I promise that's all. I don't waste the time. Stop holding back, kept it in, let it show outside. Like nobody's watching. Baby, it's up, should be catching the vibe. Move. Trust the rhythm, trust the groove. Move. Trust the rhythm, trust the groove. Move. Open hearts, open arms. Hablemelos. All right, here we go, StreamYard. We're going to run that back one more time and get in motion. I just saw Imani enter the building. Shout out to Imani. Thank you for being here. Always good to see your name, my friend. One more time. The instructions are to take 2 minutes just to get in motion. Let's get some energy and flow before we dive into our conversation tonight. All right, let's get to it. Move. Shout out to London Elixir. Move. Trust the rhythm, trust the groove. Move. Trust the rhythm, trust the groove. Move. No concerns about nothing. Tonight we just loving. Yeah, tonight we just living. Yeah, tonight we getting lifted. Right. Tomorrow, and I promise that's all. I don't waste the time. Stop holding back, kept it in, let it show outside. Like nobody's watching. Baby, it's up, should be catching the vibe. Move. Trust the rhythm, trust the groove. Move. Trust the rhythm, trust the groove. Move. Open hearts, open arms. Problemelos. Let it get close. Let the rhythm expose you. Do all the things that you want to. Do what you want to. Yeah, right. Tomorrow, and I promise that's all. I don't waste the time. Stop holding back, kept it in, let it show outside. Like nobody's watching. Baby, it's up, should be catching the vibe. Move. Trust the rhythm, trust the groove. Move. Trust the rhythm, trust the groove. Move. Trust the rhythm, trust the groove. All right, we are back. If you have just now entered the building tonight, we are going to spark a conversation with the question, what do you believe in? Of course, y'all know I came prepared with my slides. We are going to just dive a little bit deeper into this thing that is belief, this thing that shapes how we see one another, how we see ourselves, and how we interact and walk through this world. It's very important. Once again, thank you, Chevy, for the spark and the idea for the topic tonight. It's very imperative that we are intentional about our beliefs. I shared with Chevy when we had this conversation yesterday, and he offered this idea that this is exactly what led me to the shift in my lifestyle almost 13 years ago in becoming vegan. But prior to that, I literally began to ask myself, coming home from college, meeting people from different walks of life, from different cultures, from different upbringings, and seeing how they behaved and how I behaved in comparison, and just in different areas of how I saw things in comparison. It led me to ask myself, what do you believe and why? And the why led to me taking action and making shifts. Some things I kept, some things I let go. Okay, I'm getting a sign that you guys are kicked off. All right. Let me see. It's showing that you live. Can you guys give me a tap, a nod, a hand raise if you are still in here with me, if you can hear me, if we are still live. All right, now we're gonna have to make some shifts. It's 3 weeks in a row. All right, so I'm getting the live signal. I just want to make sure that you guys are here with me. All right. Okay, so I'm getting mixed messages. Okay, all right, we're gonna continue. Here we go. All right, thank you guys for that. Sorry, that throws me off a little bit. All right, we're gonna keep it moving. So yes, what I believe in was a question that sparked my change in behavior from eating and just how I moved in certain ways. So let's get into it. I have a few things to announce before we get rolling, but we're gonna move to the next section. Um, we have a few special things, but let's recap just off of the heels of another Sunday Fun Day. Shout out to C Style and Mobile Bar. Thank you for everybody that took the time on a Sunday to pop in and spend some time with us. Here is a photo. We don't have a recap just yet. Again, once again, 24 hours later, here we are. But myself, Crystal, and I'm about to call you Dinah and Alexis, myself, Alexis, and Crystal. Thank you once again to all of our friends and our family that pulled up. And it's always a great vibe, the conversations between the men and women, of course, about relationships and how we interact with one another, coming from backgrounds of being married, divorced, being a middle-aged, a little older, all of those things make a beautiful blending pot of just conversation and connection, getting up and dancing, having a good time, good food, good drinks. So yesterday was a blast. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Crystal, for putting another really, really dope room together. We appreciate you. And yes, we'll be back with another recap from yesterday's. But this was a cool capture. Thank you, D, for this picture. It was a great day. So I'm thankful for that. Also, something that we have coming tomorrow. I've been mentioning to Shiv um, that I have been doing a little trap rapping, knocking out some records with Marcus the Fingers Manderson for a kids project that he wanted to put together. And this past Wednesday, I got a quick turnaround for one more he wanted to add to it. But tomorrow he will be releasing the project. We will be pitching it to networks and different opportunities. So that's super exciting. And I have the pleasure of being a part of 3 records that are on there. So it's the same agenda for me personally as a writer, whether it's through the forms of records like All Good, Glow, and In Our Favor, just uplifting and just sending some positivity. I got to do it in the form of trap rap with the kids, for the kiddos. Just being encouraging, having fun with it, playing, being playful, but also just sparking thought, which is that is the intention of what I created and what I wanted to add to this space. So it was really, really dope. I will definitely circle back. I don't want to cheat. I don't want to leak anything before the official drop, but it'll be out tonight. So my friends, my family, it's everybody in the room with kids, cousins, grandkids, someone that could benefit from some cool trap rap. I encourage you to check this project out. And once again, I will definitely circle back and share it with the room. So shout out to Marcus for inviting me to be a part of that. Also, Give It More is still out. It is streaming. The video is doing very well. The production came out super dope. So shout out to Turquoise Music and her team for continuing to put momentum and energy behind this record. As a songwriter, I super, super, super appreciate it. So shout out to you guys. So let's get into it without further ado. What do you believe in? What do you believe in? All right. So as we talk, take a moment to screenshot. If it sparks, if it hits, if it resonates with you, and talk back. Definitely, this is an interactive conversation tonight, but no pressure on being quick to respond. My goal truly is to just spark some thought, even if it's not out loud tonight. Just something that you could take with you, and just a moment for us to reevaluate where we are. So, what beliefs do you carry that shape how you see yourself in the world? For example, how you look aesthetically. What is your belief about that? How rooms treat you, how you show up in rooms, how other people see you, your abilities. Like, what are those beliefs that you carry that shape how you see yourself in the world? Just a little bit deeper. Something that we must consider because it is the reality. What are the origins of these core beliefs? We know that it starts with our family, the cultures that we come from, the past experiences that we have lived and survived. Um, and the second part, how do they influence your identity, your decisions, and your worldview today as a growing adult? Things that may have shaped you as a child, or a teenager or a young adult. How is that still showing up? And I encourage you to just kind of reflect and think about whether those beliefs that you are holding on to are something that serve you, or do they need to be reevaluated? For instance, for me, once again, when I was speaking to Chevy about asking myself this question, I guess 15 or so years ago, and then taking that vegan shift 13 years ago, um, what I found was I had to lay everything out on the table in front of me, from what I thought about myself, what I believed in, as deep as like the afterlife, and religion and spirituality, um, what behaviors I had, why I ate what I ate, why I thought the way I thought, why I was triggered by certain things. All of those things I chose to lay out on the table in front of me. And I think that it was a positive redirection for me. And a lot of things I chose to keep, and a lot of things I chose to shift. So consider where you got those beliefs from, the positive ones and the maybe hindering ones, and how do they influence you right now, today, in all of the spaces that we find ourselves, whether it's with other people or alone. All right, next up, once again, take a moment to screenshot them if this is something that you would like to implement and come back to. You can also text me and I can send them directly to you. So next up, what does your self-talk sound like, and where did it come from? This one was a major one, and this didn't really come to me around the time where I was asking myself what I believe, and when I changed the way I ate and everything. This came a little later in life, once I got down here to Atlanta, so maybe about 10 years ago, maybe a little less. um just honing in on my self-talk. So what does your self-talk sound like, and where did it come from? For instance, is it positive? Would you call it healthy? If you could take your self-talk and capture it in an MP3 form and play it back to us, would you cringe? Would you be proud? Would it make you stand up prouder, or would it make you shrink? These are the important things to evaluate about our self-talk, and to why it's important to put it out in front of us, because it gives us the power to change it. But first we have to see it, we have to acknowledge it, and confront it. So what does your self-talk sound like, and where did it come from? Who did it come from? All right, diving a little deeper. Does your internal dialogue support or sabotage your growth? Does your internal dialogue support or sabotage your growth? How does your self-talk reflect your unconscious beliefs, and how can it be rewired with awareness and practice? I know for me, I think it's a mixed bag. Um, there is a lot of like confidence and lack of confidence. I know just over my lifetime, I've had to work through, and a lot of that dialogue, most of that dialogue is internal, is found in my self-talk, in our self-talk. So reshaping and rebuilding my confidence, whether it's from writing, which is extremely confident, versus like how I show up in, for instance, specifically romantic relationships, versus my familiar relationships. Like, is that confidence there? What is that self-talk? What do I believe I deserve? Um, how do I believe that other people see me? All of those things are in that basket of self-talk. And once again, the goal is to determine, does it support or sabotage our growth? Does your self-talk support or sabotage your growth? Um, and once again, the subconscious mind is very important. I know I shared a video, and I will grab that and link it in the description, with some of my friends and family here recently, and it was specifically talking about money and how we view that. But I think it's still a great reflection of any topic, of any area of life, of how we may be repelling some things or attracting some things. And a lot of times it starts with our energy and our self-talk and what we believe in solitude when nobody else is around. A lot of people we might find walk through the world and they seem very confident, um, but they might not be getting the results of that confidence that appears to be there. But what shapes that and what hinders that, I believe, is when nobody else is around, what do they really believe? What do we really think of ourselves? What do we really think of the world around us and how we relate to it? All right, next up, how can we intentionally choose beliefs that align with the life we want to create? So once we dig deep and we take a moment to ask these questions out loud, to sit down, and I encourage you to write out some of your answers. Once we get through that portion of the work, how can we begin to fix it, right? How can we intentionally choose beliefs that align with the life we want to create? I think first we have to determine what it is that we want. How do we want people to treat us? How do we want to feel when we walk into certain rooms? How do we want to feel when we are by ourselves? Um, I know it's not simple and it's not easy, in a lot of respects, but I think once we determine what steps we can take to get there, it makes the path a lot smoother, a lot better. Once again, not necessarily easy, but it gives us a map to begin to follow. Um, I believe that just taking the reins and taking responsibility, and just getting clear once again of what we want, um, will show us that we really can have some of the things that we say we want, but it requires some work, and sometimes some work that we don't even realize needs to be done. And I think that comes in the form of what we think in our hearts, in our minds, our subconscious minds, and what we are saying to ourselves. All right, just a little bit deeper on this third and final topic, or question. Um, Addressing the intentions of belief building. So when we're going back to how can we be intentional in choosing the beliefs that align with our lives, we can address the power of being intentional. And we all have heard of affirmations, taking the time to visualize what we want, um, putting our values to work and out front and getting clear, and believing out loud and in private at the same time. That's the work that I believe has to be done. That's the work that I have seen results in, um, personally in my life, where I have stopped and paused and laid everything out on the table by asking myself certain questions and being honest with the answers. If we can't be honest with ourselves, everything else is for naught. Um, so that self-talk and just being willing to do the work. It doesn't matter how old we are. It doesn't matter if we are a man or a woman, if we are single or married, if we have kids or not. As an individual first, I believe that that's where the healthiest version of us starts, inside out. We have to do the work to be able to show up better for the person next to us and for our communities and all the people that we love. So figuring out ways to implement the growth. But first and foremost, I know we're going through this quickly, but most importantly is just understanding from where we started, what do I believe in? And then making our way to exercises and ways to implement new beliefs, or to just continue to uplift the things that are working for us and that are healthy, and affirmations, or taking time to visualize what we want and putting action behind it. Um, And then asking ourselves, how can we begin to reshape our mindsets to better support the positive and healthy things such as joy, resilience, and purpose. And once again, right above it, we can do it through affirmations and visualizing, but we can also do it through choosing different rooms, choosing people that bring out the best in us, choosing different content that doesn't trigger us, but that sparks new thought and enlightens us and excites us in a healthy way. There's so many different things that affect us and shape us from the very beginning, from our parents, our households, our culture, all the way up into today, what we choose to pick up and press play on and listen to on television, on our phones, and in conversation with who we are interacting with. So once again, what do you believe in? Tonight, thank you. Shout out to Chevy once again for the sparking this idea. And just, this is here just to, again, provoke thought. And my hope is to spark some positive change in, even if it's just one area of your life and my life. And I think I would hold highest our self-talk, because we can't help each other with that. We don't know what the other truly believes about ourselves, yourself, myself. So I think that is most important, to put a hand on and to get to the healthiest place that we possibly can and be intentional about it. So what do you believe in? How do you talk to yourself? How can you improve the way you talk to yourself? And what is it that you want? What do you want out of life? What do you want out of love, relationships? What do you want out of the interactions that you receive day to day as you walk to the life and walk into a building, and walk into a room and come home and be alone? How do you want to feel? Even if you don't feel it now, getting clear with what we want and then working backwards to what it takes to shift to get to that point. I believe it's possible. I acknowledge it as work. But I think it's important for me to be better for y'all and for y'all to be better for me and the communities around us as individuals. So what do you believe in? I'm going to pause for the cause. I'm going to give everybody a space to catch up. If you would with me, just take a deep breath. I can feel my shoulders, because I've been talking for a few minutes straight, but just take a deep breath into your diaphragm and breathe out. And we're going to take a quick music break, and we're going to get back to it during this song as it plays. Be prepared to just come back and reply to me. Let me know what this question and what this conversation has brought to the front of your mind. If it has sparked a question for you, share that question that it sparked. If it has sparked encouragement for you to take action in a certain area and you're comfortable with doing so, share what that area is and what that action is. And if it has just kind of uncovered some things that maybe you haven't thought about, share that as well. So take that deep breath. And let's get up and let's get in motion. Once again, shout out to Twin Dem, shout out to D for the super dope visual. Let's get into Glow and be right back, ready to just share what this conversation has sparked for you. Let's get it. Glow.
Wait, whoa, holla, glow, go in your bag, get you some sauce, you got the recipe, you better know, wait, whoa, holla, glow, wait, whoa, hold up, glow, get in your bag, show us your swag, hold up your head, you got the ingredients, you got the recipe, I see you cooking, it be so natural. Swinging haymakers, and you just be eating them. Go on, strap with your chest up. Don't let them problems get you messed up. All that you need is inside you. In the light, let it guide you. Take and run this here on repeat. This is your daily reminder to wait, whoa, holla, glow, go in your your bag, get you some sauce. You got the recipe, you better know. Wait, whoa, hold up, glow. Hey, hands up if you feel it. Gonna let me out your senses. You got the power, believe it. Responsibility, receive it. Wait, hold up, man, tell me how you showing up when this life be feeling kinda tough and them bills steady be adding up. This is your theme song, hey, something to lean on, hey, you gotta stay strong, hey, no you were not alone, cause all that you need is inside you. In a light, let it guide you. Take it, run this here on repeat. This is your daily reminder to wait, whoa, hold up, glow, go in your bag, get you some sauce. You got the recipe, you better know. Wait, whoa, hold up, just let your glow show. Let it shine, can't change the past, so focus on now. This is your life, you wear the crown. Don't wait too long, cause time don't rewind. Wait, whoa, hold up, glow, go in your bag, get you some sauce. You got the recipe, you better know. Wait, whoa, hold up, glow.
All right, we are back. So I'm gonna give you just a moment to let me know what ideas and what thoughts has this topic sparked for you. What is something that you feel like you are going to walk away with and maybe put some energy towards, or just something that you feel like you might consider a little more in depth or closely. Just from the topic of what do you believe in, and with the added questions that were, let me get these back up here on the screen for you. What beliefs do you carry that shape how you see yourself and the world? What does your self-talk sound like and where did it come from? And how can we intentionally choose beliefs that align with the life we want to create? Uh-oh. Oh, we got another question going in the comments. Should we ask who else want to see Mattie perform Glow live at a show? Oh yeah, I'll raise my hand too. I think that'll be a lot of fun. Agreed. Mama Mattie agrees as well. See Styles, see Styles is with it as well. All right, Untan is on topic. All right, here we go. So Untan shares, sparking me to keep trying what I fail. That's powerful. Absolutely, that's super powerful. Thank you for sharing that, Untan. I would share that this conversation for me has sparked um, the curiosity of going back and diving into what self-talk I still hold that is unhealthy or that's hindering me in areas towards what I intend and really desire to progress towards. For me, yeah, the self-talk is a big one. Chef shares, it has me thinking about, am I in the right rooms, seeking the right rooms to be in, and making sure my self-talk are positive, meaningful, and beneficial to my future. Absolutely. That's a dope added piece. Like, are you in the right rooms and are you seeking in the right rooms? That's a major point. Thank you for sharing that. That's dope. Yeah, I would also add that this this question and these questions, these added questions, have me thinking about, like, do I truly want what I say I want? So even in going back through my list of like goals and stuff, I want to go through them with a different lens, and that's not to say that anything will change, but I think it'll just reiterate or even confirm that I'm in the right direction too. But just seeing, after doing some additional work and going back and looking at these goals, like, do I really want it in my heart? And do I really believe that I can have it? I think that's a major question to know. And even if it's a no, or maybe there's still doubt there, I think it's a good start to get to a full yes and a full level of belief. Untan shares, I'm woke again, though I didn't answer a thing. You so silly. I don't know, it's good. You so silly. No, it's good to circle back. It's good to have these conversations with ourselves. And just to see where we are. A lot of times we get wrapped up, and I know I do it very often, into the flow of life, into the demands of life, and we don't really take a moment to slow down and ask ourselves questions, even though we might take a break, might take a vacation. But in those times of stillness, I think it's important to have these conversations with ourselves, these check-ins and these reevaluations. What's up, Jeree? Thank you for popping in, and thank you for pulling up yesterday. Jeree shares, coming in on the tail end, but seeing those questions make me think of my daily affirmations in terms of self-talk. I hadn't done it in a while, but pulled them out this morning and plan to bring them back. Awesome. Awesome. Perfect example. Just redirecting ourselves back to certain habits. Thank you for sharing that. Um, and just checking back in, just making this a check a checkpoint to confirm that we are headed in the right direction. And again, 15 years ago, and needing to do it every year, every month, every quarter, determining if my goals are really what I still desire. Do I believe I can have them once again? And do I like who I am? Do I like how I show up? All right, thank you guys. I know y'all be on it. My sound men and women. Um, am I back? Are we here? Are you here with me? All right, and just to circle back to make sure that you guys, awesome. Thank you guys. All right, and just to make sure that I didn't miss one with my feedback, let me go back up. Unten just reacted to, do I really want what I say I want? And absolutely, that's a major one. And do we want what we say we want in the way that we show up, in the ways that we act, and also in the ways that we think and we talk and believe internally? C Styles, Crystal shares, speaking to the inner self in a more encouraging way is another thing, another thought that was sparked, an idea. Dree shares, checking back in on goals is a great practice. Absolutely. Definitely need to incorporate that. Awesome. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for these additional thoughts and sharing where this conversation brought your mind to. Once again, I think it's super important. And on the heels of this, I want to reiterate, and I just have found it coming up a lot in my conversations these past like 4 days. But just to bring it out again, I think it's pretty powerful. So why stray away from something that is working? So let's reiterate the four agreements. First up, be impeccable with your word. Speak with integrity. Say only what you mean. Avoid using the word to speak against yourself, which is what we've talked about tonight, or to gossip about others. Use the power of your word in the direction of truth and love. And it does not matter if we bat 100. We won't, right? We're going to fall short in some areas. But if we're currently batting 60% in a healthy way, let's work to get that to 65 or to 70 and beyond. So be okay with starting from where you are, no matter how far away from 100% or super healthy it is, except where we are right now. And let's get better with being impeccable with our word. Number two, don't take anything personally. Nothing others do is because of you. What others say and do is a projection of their own reality. I know this one is tough. Let me be clear. If somebody's in your face going off, I understand the human react. We are going to be triggered more times than not, right? But when we keep this at the front of our minds, when we take these tools and we actually sit in them and believe them, then I believe it makes it easier and more likely that we will incorporate them in real time, um, and become immune to the opinions and actions of others. Um, so once again, don't take anything personally. Nothing others do is because of you. What others say and do is a projection of their own reality. When you are immune to the opinions and actions of others, you won't be the victim of needless suffering. And I think a good point that just popped in my mind. I remember we were working with the ladies and sisters, the Cunningham sisters, years back, and we were departing and just kind of just talking and something. I think it was in that final session that I was like, I wanted to share with them, um, just for their journey that was to come and that is still to come, was to not get too amped up on the hype of others or the um the kind of the shade or negative opinions of others. So I think this works on both ends of the spectrum. Um, it feels good. Don't get me wrong. Absolutely, taking that confidence and those beautiful um, words of encouragement, but once again, not getting too hung up on those either. I would say, from my perspective, because if they're taken away, do we still believe it? You know what I'm saying? Are we leaning on that? Is it not enough for us to know it for ourselves? So I think that is a beautiful added bonus when we encourage each other and when we get that confirmation and affirmation from outside, but leaning on that, I think, can also be dangerous. So whether it's positive or negative, don't take anything personally. Number 3, don't make assumptions. Find the courage to ask questions and to express what you really want. Communicate with others as clearly as you can to avoid misunderstandings, sadness, and drama. When just this one agreement, with just this one agreement, you can completely transform your life. 100% agreed. Transparency and clarity definitely saves lives and arguments and misunderstandings. And number 4, always do your best. Your best is going to change from moment to moment. Once again, whether we're working in some areas from 50% or from 70%, we have a little more further of a journey to go. It's all good. So long as we're doing our best, that's what matters most. It will be different when you're healthy as opposed to sick. Under any circumstance, simply do your best and you will avoid self-judgment, self-abuse, and self-regret. Awesome. All right, let me get back over here to the comments with you guys. All right, Chef says, big difference and don't take it personal. And they in your personal space talking crazy. No, absolutely. That's real. That's too funny. That's a fact. Heard that. Heard that. I trust that it's right on time. Thank you for that, Ash. All right, ladies and gentlemen. All right, this is the moment. Well, if you have any thoughts, any other things that have sparked that you feel like the room can benefit from, or you can just even benefit from saying out loud / typing, take a moment to share that in the comments. And we are going to depart for the evening. Thank you so much for being here, for being committed, for being faithful. Every Monday here at Mattie Mondays, where we do music in different ways. And my favorite, we do conversations that help to grow us and show us our reflection and guide us towards a healthier version of ourselves. I appreciate you guys allowing me this space, for trusting me with this space, for supporting me and encouraging me in the space. And I will continue to show up and do my best and show up as the best version that I can in every moment and every Monday that I find myself here with you guys at Mattie Mondays. All right. So as the record plays, any additional thoughts from the topic that we're talking about tonight and beyond, anything that comes to mind, anything that you feel the vibe and the spirit to share, make sure you do that. Once again, tomorrow we have trap rap coming. My apologies for the photo being a little bit for the screen, but trap rap, I'm super excited about that. Once again, shout out to everybody on the project and shout out to Marcus for creating the space for us to do something for the kids. So hopefully it'll find itself on a network soon. All right, so we're gonna vibe out. We're gonna go up with the fellas of 3+1 going up. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And drop some love, drop some thoughts in the comments as the record plays. Have an amazing week. Some of you I will see, and most of y'all I will talk to. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. It's your favorite songwriter, Mattie B. All right, let's get it.
Flow beats did this. We just getting started. The night's still young. Peeking out to the stars. I might grab me one. Yeah, we on our way up. Heading straight to Mars. Can't pull me down. I'll be back tomorrow. We're going all the way. I turn the stars today. We'll travel far away. I am a distant galaxy. Just you and me. We're going all the way. I am. We're going up.
stars from here.
We're going all the way. I turn the stars today. We'll travel far away. Oh yeah. A distant galaxy. You and me. We're going all the way. Oh yeah, yeah. We're going up. We're going up. Oh yeah. We're going up. We're going up. Oh yeah. We're going up. Further than we've ever gone before. Oh, take it to a distant galaxy. Maybe you and me keep pulling me back with your gravity. Oh, and I take you all the way. We're going up. We're going up. Oh yeah. We're going up. We're going up. Oh yeah. We're going up.